And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form. For the Cowboys in this ball game, I will go with playing the power game. I love the way they run the power downhill. Right now, DeMarco Murray is playing lights out football, and I think that's where they can have some success in beating up the interior of that Rams defense. So I would play the power game if I were the Cowboys. And I would also look for these guys to stay excellent on third down. Quiet as kept, they have been playing excellent third down defense, and that can go a long way in helping them defeat the Rams. And they have to make plays in space defensively. They're going to be forced to make one-on-one tackles in space versus guys like Brian Quick, Tavon Austin, even the running back Zach Stacy and company. They have to be able to make plays in space, especially on the edge, if they want to be successful. And for the Rams in this ball game, they have to remain gap disciplined. Last week versus Tampa Bay, they gave up huge yards on the ground because guys got out of position, and that can't happen this week versus DeMarco Murray, or you would have the same result. And they have to creatively take away Dez Bryant, find different ways to take their biggest target out of the ball games. And when I'm talking about being creative, I'm talking about maybe using the safety at the line of scrimmage and passing him off to a cornerback back over top, or either bracketing him or trying to double him and force Tony Romo to go to other options consistently. And they have to play winning special teams. I think if there's any opportunity in this ballgame for St. Louis, number one, it comes with their special teams unit. They can punt, they can kick, they have great returners, and they also excel in coverage, so they have to play winning special teams in order to knock off Dallas. Now, here are some in-game adjustments you want to watch for in this ball game when the Cowboys are on the field. Now, defensively, how they match up versus the Rams tight end Jared Cook, who is a legit weapon, a guy that does a lot of damage after the catch. Will they match him up with the linebacker? Will they try to combo cover him with the safety? They have to take away another one of the biggest options for this Rams passing game. And how will they work the wide receivers in the screen game will also be key. I actually like the Rams secondary. Despite some of the injuries, I think they match up very well versus the Cowboys passing game, so they're gonna have to find quick ways to get the football in the hands of Dez Bryant and company. And then also you want to put him on the move. I think that's what's going to be key. Keep him on the move, that way they can't jam him, can't get a bump. You can move him all around that formation. I think that's how the Cowboys can have some success offensively throwing the football. And for the Rams in this ball game, same rules apply. You look at the tight end Jason Witten as Tony Romo's security blanket. So how will they neutralize him? Maybe overload him, force him to be a pass protector in certain situations, keep him on the line of scrimmage, beat him up at the line of scrimmage. They have to find ways to neutralize another one of their big-time targets in the passing game. And that would also spread the field and run downhill. I think the Rams can have some success running inside versus the Dallas Cowboys defense. They would have to spread the field, weaken that defensive front, put more pressure on those defensive tackles, and be able to run that inside zone. I would also go with more of a big nickel look to get pressure on Tony Romo, bringing that extra safety on the field to try to get pressure, so that way you are protected on the back end and coverage, but you have a lot of speed on the outside, or speed coming inside on those A and B gap blitzes to put Tony Romo on the ground. The biggest X factor in this game for Dallas will be their linebacking core. In my opinion, they played some great football so far this season, but they will be put to the test versus this Rams running game and what the Rams do in their underneath passing game. So they're going to have to excel on both ends of defense in order to have some success versus St. Louis. And the X factor for the Rams is Austin Davis, the quarterback. He played sound football last week versus Tampa, getting the football team in position to win the game, which they ultimately did. And if he can play efficient, mistake-free football, I think they have a great chance in knocking off Dallas, because they do have the weapons on the outside to give the Cowboys problems. I like the Cowboys in this ball game. I like what I saw last week versus a very tough Tennessee Titan defense. They hit them in the mouth. They ran downhill. Now, this is a different challenge. The Rams do pose threats on the inside and at linebacker with all their athleticism, but where the Cowboys do have the advantage, they can spread the football field, and Tony Romo can throw the football anywhere he wants to. And I think that right there versus a weakened secondary in St. Louis will be the reason why they ultimately win the game. So I like Dallas to take care of the Rams this week in Week 3 of the NFL.
What's up, fantasy football fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. For all of your starts, sits, fantasy football notes, news, and tidbits, tune into our podcast, Football Game Plan Starting Lineup, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, which is located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.
And don't forget to check out Football Game Plan's NFL Wraparound live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan, where we give you all of our late-minute and last-minute notes, news, and tidbits and thoughts on each and every game on the NFL schedule. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to Cowboy fan forums and Ram fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.